Let's get right into it. Number 9. Money can't buy happiness. Really? We've all heard it. Money can't buy happiness. Usually from someone sliding out of a luxury car, clutching their latte like life is so hard. Easy for them to say, right? It's a little like a chef telling starving people that food isn't important. The truth? Money does buy happiness, at least to a point. Forget that old $75,000 number. Today that barely covers rent and ramen in most big cities. Newer studies suggest the real threshold is closer to $500,000 a year. Why? Because money buys peace of mind. It buys reliable healthcare instead of medical debt, time with your kids instead of working 3 jobs, and the freedom to stop worrying about survival long enough to enjoy life. Of course, money isn't a magic happiness pill. If you're miserable before, a bigger paycheck won't fix your soul. It just buys you nicer furniture to sulk on. But let's be clear, stress from poverty crushes happiness. Remove that stress and joy has space to grow. Here's the irony. People who say money can't buy happiness usually already have plenty. If it were really true, they'd gladly trade bank accounts with someone struggling. Funny how they never do. So no, money won't solve everything, but it absolutely changes the playing field. Once your basics are secure, happiness depends on how you use it, on experiences, relationships, health, not on endless status symbols. Next time you hear that cliché, remember, money might not buy happiness, but it sure as hell pays the entry fee. Number 8. Looks don't matter. Sure. Keep telling yourself that. We love to tell kids that it's what's inside that counts. Sweet idea, but let's be real. Society runs on first impressions, not X-ray vision. Dating apps alone prove this. Swipe left, swipe right. Billions of dollars built on nothing but faces. Nobody swipes because they sense your kind soul through the screen. And it doesn't stop at dating. Studies show attractive people literally get lighter sentences for the same crimes. Imagine 2 guys robbing a bank. One looks like a Hollywood actor, the other looks like he wrestled a lawnmower. Guess who's walking out of court faster? Being good looking is like starting life with cheat codes. Jobs? Same story. Attractive people get hired more, promoted faster, and even score better deals shopping. Meanwhile, the beauty industry makes billions convincing the rest of us that looks don't matter. If they didn't, why are people spending fortunes on filters, cosmetics, and surgeries just to get a second glance on a profile? Now, before you sink into despair, let's add some balance. Yes, looks open doors, but charisma, confidence, and skill keep them open. You can't Photoshop your way into lasting respect. Ever met someone gorgeous until they opened their mouth? Exactly. So maybe the truth is this. Looks matter for the first impression, but what's inside decides the lasting impression. It's unfair, but it's reality. Pretending otherwise is like insisting gravity doesn't matter while you're falling off a roof. Next time someone says, looks don't matter, remember, they do. But how you carry yourself, how you connect, and what you bring to the table. That matters even more in the long run. Number 7. Hard work guarantees success, the bootstraps fairy tale. We've all heard it. Work hard enough and you'll make it. Sounds inspiring, but also a bit like telling someone they can win the lottery if they just buy more tickets. Reality check. Life doesn't hand out trophies based only on effort. Sure, hard work matters, but let's not pretend it's the whole formula. Studies show about 42% of rich kids stay rich as adults, not because they grind 42% harder, but because they start the race already standing on the finish line. They've got connections, family safety nets, and opportunities most people never see. It's like running a marathon, where some people start at mile 25, then tell the rest of us to just run faster. The media loves self-made millionaire stories, but dig deeper and you often find a hidden ladder, maybe a parent's loan, or a well-placed connection that opened the first big door. Hard work without direction is like driving fast without GPS. Lots of movement, no progress. Here's the truth. Success is usually a combo: hard work, timing, and who you know. Work ethic gets you ready, but relationships open doors, and timing decides whether the door leads to a palace or a broom closet. Think of it like cooking. Hard work is the stove, but without the right ingredients and timing, all you've got is burnt toast. So should we stop working hard? Of course not. But we should work smart. Network like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Build skills, yes, but also build bridges. The people you know and the chances you seize can multiply your effort in ways sweat alone never will. Hard work is essential, but guaranteed success, that's a fairy tale parents tell, so kids will do their homework. Number 6. Follow your passion and money will follow. The Instagram quote lie. You've probably heard this gem. Just follow your passion and the money will follow. Sounds poetic, like something you'd find on a coffee mug next to live, laugh, love. But let's be brutally honest. If passion alone paid the bills, teachers would be millionaires and starving artists would be dining at Michelin star restaurants. Reality doesn't work that way. The market doesn't care about your passion, it cares about demand. That's why we've got broke nurses saving lives while some guy live streaming himself eating spicy noodles rakes in millions. It's not fair, but it's the truth. Passion by itself is like gas without a car. Lots of energy, nowhere to go. Take musicians, painters, and writers. Many of them would create even if nobody paid them, which is beautiful, but also exactly why the market often exploits them. Exposure becomes the currency, and landlords don't accept exposure as rent. So where's the sweet spot? It's where passion meets market need. Love teaching. Maybe you thrive as a corporate trainer, where your skills are valued and rewarded. Love art? Try UX design, where creativity meets tech demand. Love writing? Copywriting pays a whole lot better than poetry. The truth isn't that passion is useless. It's that passion alone doesn't guarantee survival. Combine it with strategy and you've got power. Think of it like fire. Passion is the spark, but without fuel and oxygen, aka demand and opportunity, it fizzles out. So next time someone tells you to just follow your passion, smile politely. Then go find where that passion collides with what people actually need. That's not selling out, it's cashing in without losing yourself. Because in the real world, money doesn't follow passion. Money follows value. And when you merge the two, that's when you start cooking with fire. Number 5. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Really? We've all heard this cliche tossed around after something awful happens. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Sounds heroic, like you get hit by a bus and suddenly unlock superpowers. But sorry to break it to you, your brain is not a gym muscle. Trauma doesn't bulk it up, it usually breaks it down. Science shows that severe stress can actually rewire the brain. Parts that handle memory and emotions get scrambled. Like a corrupted hard drive. That's why some people struggle with anxiety, flashbacks, or depression long after the bad event is over. It's not strength, it's survival mode, like boarding up your windows during a hurricane. You can't see the storm anymore, but your house is still taking damage. Now here's the twist. Some people do come out stronger. Psychologists call it post-traumatic growth. But that doesn't happen automatically. It's not the trauma itself that builds you up. It's the support, therapy, and healing that come afterward. Surviving a car crash doesn't make you stronger by itself. Getting help, rebuilding, and finding meaning in it does. The problem with the phrase is that it can sound dismissive. Imagine telling someone who just lost their job, their health, or their loved one, hey, at least you'll be stronger. That's not encouragement. That's cruelty disguised as wisdom. And here's the real truth. What doesn't kill you usually leaves scars. And scars don't make you invincible. They just prove you've been through hell and kept going. The strength comes not from the wound, but from the way you choose to heal. So maybe we should update the saying. Not, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. More like, what doesn't kill you requires therapy, time, and a damn good support system. Number 4. There's someone for everyone, the romantic myth. We've all heard it. Don't worry, there's someone out there for everyone. Is the Hallmark card version of comfort like saying the universe has your soulmate on layaway? But let's step into reality. Dating today looks less like fate and more like a brutal marketplace. Take dating apps. Numbers show that about 80% of women are competing for the top 20% of men. That means if you're a guy in the bottom 80%, you're basically invisible, like a ghost haunting Tinder. And if you're a woman, you're fighting in a digital coliseum for a small handful of high-value matches. Not exactly the fairy tale Disney promised. Even offline, things aren't magical. Social connections have narrowed, people are busier, and loneliness has become so widespread that some countries actually appointed ministers of loneliness. Yes, that's a real job. Imagine explaining that at a party. What do you do? Oh, I manage nationwide sadness. Now, does this mean love is impossible? Absolutely not. But the myth that it's guaranteed, that someone will just stumble into your life because destiny said so, that's dangerous. It convinces people to sit back and wait instead of putting in the effort. Real connection doesn't arrive like a package from Amazon. It takes work on yourself, on your habits, and on how you expand your circles. The truth? There might be someone for you, but they won't just knock on your door holding flowers. You have to meet people, take risks, and sometimes face rejection. It's less a fairy tale and more like fishing. The more lines you cast, the better your chances. So no, the universe doesn't guarantee a soulmate. But if you grow, put yourself out there, and keep trying, you create your own odds. Love isn't fate, it's effort. Number 3, you can be anything you want to be. The childhood myth. As kids, we're told, you can be anything you want to be. Sounds inspiring. Until the 5'2". Teenager insists he's destined for the NBA. Reality check. The average NBA player is 6'6". That's not just reach for the stars. That's biology laughing in your face. The truth is, natural limits exist. If you're born with vocal cords like an angel, opera might be in your future. If you sound like a cat stuck in a blender, no amount of practice will land you at the Met. Talent, genetics, and opportunity shape our ceilings more than motivational posters admit. Take Michael Jordan, the ultimate comeback story. People love to say he was cut from his high school team and worked harder than anyone. True, but he was already 5'10" as a sophomore and later grew to 6'5". He had the drive, yes, but he also had the body and raw skill. Hard work alone didn't make him great. Hard work on top of talent did. The danger of this lie is wasted years chasing the wrong dream. Imagine pouring a decade into something you're not built for, while ignoring a talent you actually had. It's like trying to turn a Chihuahua into a Great Dane. It's not happening, no matter how much it believes. So what should we tell kids instead? Not that they can be anything, but that they can be amazing at something. The key is to figure out what you're naturally good at, then double down until you're unstoppable. That's where real success lives. At the intersection of passion, talent, and relentless effort. You can't be everything, but you can be exceptional at the thing you're meant for. And that's way more powerful than living a lifetime chasing an impossible role you were never built to play. Number 2. Social media brings people together, the digital illusion. Social media connects us all. That's the sales pitch. But if you've ever scrolled for hours, surrounded by friends, yet felt completely alone, you already know the truth. These platforms don't bring us closer, they turn us into screen zombies, panicking if the Wi-Fi drops for 5 seconds. Here's the irony. The tech CEOs who created these apps don't even let their own kids use them. That's like a chef refusing to eat at his own restaurant. Why? Because they know the product is addictive. Every notification, every like, is designed like a slot machine hit for your brain. Except instead of winning money, you win anxiety, comparison, and sometimes full-blown depression. And the data doesn't lie. As social media use skyrockets, teen depression and loneliness do the same. Algorithms feed us what keeps us scrolling, not what keeps us happy. You think you're seeing the world, but really you're stuck in an echo chamber. Served content that confirms your biases and keeps you hooked. That's how your fishing-obsessed uncle suddenly becomes convinced birds aren't real. Does this mean social media is pure evil? Not quite. It can connect us, reuniting old friends, creating movements, even giving isolated people a sense of community. The problem is, those bright spots are the exception, not the rule. For most of us, the apps exploit human psychology first and deliver connection second. So maybe we should stop pretending Facebook is a town square and call it what it really is. A casino built for your attention span. The house always wins. The truth? Social media doesn't inherently bring people together. We do. The platforms are just tools, and like any tool, they can build or destroy. The difference lies in how, and how much, we use them. Number 1. Everything happens for a reason. The comfort lie. When tragedy strikes, people love to say, everything happens for a reason. It's meant to comfort, but let's be honest. Sometimes it lands like a slap in the face. Your spouse dies in a car accident. Your child gets sick. Your dream collapses. And someone tells you it's all part of a master plan? That's not comfort. That's cruelty with a bow on it. Here's the reality. Our brains hate randomness. We're pattern-seeking machines. We see faces in clouds, Jesus on toast, and meaning in events that might just be bad luck. Believing there's a reason feels safer than admitting the universe sometimes just rolls dice with our lives. But that doesn't mean life is hopeless. In fact, accepting randomness can be freeing. If your suffering isn't punishment and it isn't fate, then you're not trapped in some cosmic test. You're simply dealing with life as it is. And that means you get to choose the meaning. Think about it. Some of the most inspiring people didn't find strength because the universe handed them a script. They found strength because they wrote their own. They turned pain into purpose, chaos into clarity. That wasn't destiny, it was resilience. So maybe instead of clinging to everything happens for a reason, we should tell each other, not everything has a reason, but we can create one. That way, the power shifts from some mysterious force in the sky back to you. Life isn't a story already written where you're just a character. You're the author. Bad chapters happen, but the ending is still yours to decide. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.